I'd like to call on stage Mr. Enrico Buonocore, CEO and founder of Langosteria Group.
Qui siamo passati dalla ristorazione commerciale.
So we went from commercial catering to fine dining. Can you give me an idea how many restaurants you have? So we just opened our 5th restaurant in Paris. This project has been in the pipeline for a while, but then we had to postpone this due to the pandemic. But fortunately, on September 8th, so we got it back from Paris just for this. Yes, I have to go to Paris this afternoon again. Of course, we have this incredible opportunity. This measure, I could really gauge the potential of the Italianness abroad. And we want to be ambassadors of New Italy that is organized, and we want to bring the rhythm and the experience of Langosteria in a city such as Paris, an incredible city which welcomed us with great enthusiasm. Our restaurant is fully booked until end of October. So, of course, we have to manage this enthusiasm because we have curiosity, but then we have to be consistent day after day. So you have to keep your promise, absolutely. Of course, I could also gauge the strength of a great location because in Milan we have Via Savona, then the bistro in Via Bobbio, and thanks to the dehors, so the outside space, the patio will surprise us with its numbers. Of course, the municipality allows us to build this patio, so we could add this to the service Langosteria Casa, and we will also build a dark kitchen. Well, not a dark kitchen, but a gastronomy. So people will be able to buy. They will have this kitchen preparing what we started offering to our customers during the pandemic. And we had such success with home delivery that we invest in this. Then we have our cafe in the city center. They were opened for just 2 weeks in 2020. They opened in February, then had to close until December, then they closed again. Now they are getting great results since we could reopen again. Then we have our restaurant, which is the Langosteria Paraggi, so by the sea. We're getting great results. Then we bought the whole beach, so we reached an agreement with the Splendido. So the beach club is managed by the Splendido Hotel. Then we had Carlo Cracco and Vittorio, who really followed on examples. So now going for a weekend in that area has become very interesting from a gastronomic point of view. I'm very proud because we invested in an area that was fantastic, but that needed a bit of modernization. It needs a bit of flair. They needed to believe that the tourism could grow. So tourism in that area is generally steady, but we wanted to give it a different flavors. We can work together to make the Costa del Tigullio a very excellent location for Italy. I think you had reached great results. We run the risk of getting 4 million in 4 months. So the numbers are incredible. And this is also due to the fact that many people could not travel. So we all favored holidays in our own country. But, after 5 years, of course, it means we were consistent in our offer. We're surprised, but also very enthusiastic about this. And this gives us strength to plan the next seasons. So we have a long term for investment. So going back to Paris, because of course we know we're good in catering, but how much can we be acknowledged at international level? What can you bring to the restaurant scene of Paris? I have to be careful. Well, you're not listed, so we can say what we want. Of course, we opened in September, but we've been working for months. The city was closed, however. So I couldn't really study very well the offer. We know Paris, and all of my customers thought that we would open in London, but we chose Paris. We designed everything because I dreamed and designed the first langosteria in Paris. Paris has everything. It's the city with the highest number of restaurants. It's the city where food is a cult. But our segment is still to build. So if you ask me, who is your competitor? There is no competitor for us in Paris. Paris is a city that favors quality. So, of course, we will be able to do good. Of course, there is a culture of dining that is very well rooted. So Langosteria needs to do what we've always done. But we have to bring this Italianness they love so much, because from what I could see, they really want and love Italy. Of course, Langosteria is an Italian restaurant with an international flair when it comes to service, when it comes to the choice of raw material. Of course, we get many Italian products, but we have king crabs, carabineros, or other products, and we have this Italianness in our spirit, but the organization we love is an international type of organization. So, of course, we work on volume and quality. So you get your oysters from France. I thought about bringing Italian oysters from San Michele, but I thought maybe it would be too risky in Paris. They do not have vongole, they have clams, they have palugris, which is quite different. So every 2 days, our Italian partners bring gambero rosso, vongole, spillo squid, and everything that we cannot find. Of course, in the market of Rungis, there is a lot of products we can buy. What about stuffing? Well, it's quite tragic. I think our sector needs to make this profession a profession, true profession, and not just a side hustle. Some people started working in catering because they couldn't find work somewhere else. This work has to be organized. We've started normalizing the role of catering and the role of time, because now the work-life balance is increasingly important. So we will move from 5 days per week, not 7. This is a standard in hotels, but not in restaurants. So you have to find a balance between passion and sacrifice and personal life. Paris, as Italy is living a crisis in staffing, we're building a first team, and I think we will be able to open for lunch by the end of the month in Italy. We started recruiting in March, because during the pandemic, many members of our team returned to their hometown because it was difficult for them to leave on the wages we were paying them when we were closed. So how many people you have, how many employees you have? 250. What is your goal for Paris? What is the turnover for Paris next year? When we budgeted for this location, we gave figures that were similar to those of Milan. I think we can go above 10 millions. Well, it's a great challenge, though. Do you think other fine dining Italian restaurants will be able to open in Paris? Well, the city needs that. It is not a city that had new brands as it happened in London or in Madrid. It is a very French city, and I think there is a room for an Italian offer in terms of high-end or even different types. They love Italianness. Of course, you can find a lot of Italian restaurants, but no Italian would go there. So we would like to bring quality Italian food. I think that's what people love about Italy. Milan has become a wonderful city that's very competitive, with many restaurants you can visit for dinner. So I think Milan can be an example, and Paris can become a destination for colleagues of our sector. So it would be positive for the whole Italian catering system. Well, you told me that the turnover is significant. Well, it is a big city, so we can make higher volumes. When tourism would return to as it used to be, I believe that it will have, of course, a different volumes than Milan. Will you do Langosteria only, or are you thinking about other formats or brands? Well, with my partners, sometimes we think about something different, but Langosteria needs our utmost dedication, and we need to follow our industrial plan. We want to grow in premium location where we can bring our brand and our expertise. So we are all focused on doing great with what we have, which is quite important. So if Paris is doing well, we'll do well. what are you thinking about? Second location in Paris? Because as we did in Milan, we believe that a city can have 2 restaurants to create more critical mass, and then we can look at some other ideas. We have, a rough idea of what we can do. We're looking for a location in the mountains. Because, of course, those who work in the Ligurian restaurant only work in the summer. So my dream would be to open in the United States. I think Langosteria will be able to do well there. So I'm not going to ask to you, what do you think will happen in the next 5 years? I think there is a room to develop this brand. Yes, we want to do that. Any opening can be, of course, devised in the next 18 months, 2 years. We need to train people. We want everything to work properly. So maybe in winter we might be able to open something in the mountains. And then in 2023 we might open another restaurant, who knows where. Of course, you mentioned you have partners, the family Ruffini di Moncler, who's a minority partner. What is your relationship with them? What are their expectations? Well, our relationship works because they stepped in 2018. We had a fantastic 2019. Then the pandemic happened, so we had to reshuffle things. Langosteria did quite well, thanks to the financial soundness that we've created over the years, thanks to the contribution of Ruffini, our partner. We're looking at the future, so Paris location and other locations that we can choose together, and where we have a match between relationships and communication, so people who can provide us with premium solutions. There is a communal vision so that we can manage operations. So we're not thinking about franchising or licensing, absolutely not. So we want to be in control of everything we manage. This is one of the strictest requirements we had for our partners in 2018. So I think we've covered everything. This is a very interesting project. And I think it's opening opportunities for the Italian catering approach. Of course, it's Italian restaurants, even high-level Italian restaurants, are present in foreign capitals. But this is an example of an Italian restaurant that is doing well in Italy and can be exported abroad. So we hope to be able to export an Italian experience alongside the export of food and wine. Thank you, everybody. So thank you, everybody. I hope our summit was interesting. It was the first wine and food summit we've organized. So others will follow next year. Hopefully next year we will discuss other areas of this very interesting industry. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a nice day.